Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful week, wonderful day in the markets. So this week, I've not taken any trades so far. I'm looking at a few pairs. No pairs shown me any direction just yet. We'll look at them. If you know, I trade gold, Aussie dollar, USDCAD, and Dow Jones only. So on those pairs, I've been looking at gold. I'll start with gold because this is the gold chart. And if you know, gold hasn't been moving this week. So nothing has been happening. Look at all this sideways movement. So I don't really get into such plays because there's really no direction unless I'm looking for 50 pips, which is not something I'm risking to look for in gold because I'll be risking too much just to make 50 pips. So I don't have any trade running on this one just yet, but I'm waiting for this pop. We've been talking about this for the past few weeks, but what I think we're waiting for is that this market is really waiting for election. So once election comes, we'll start getting the direction bias on this one. So we might have another whole week. Today's Wednesday. We might have another 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just stuck within here without any major direction, just forming a lot of doji formations, which is an indication of indecision. The market is not really getting a direction of where to go, but I think slowly we'll be pricing in a direction, maybe to the upside or downside. So that's why we're watching the markets, seeing how it's reacting. And next week on Tuesday, when elections come, we're yet to see a lot of spikes on this, especially on the dollar pairs. Okay, if I go down to the 4-hour chart, I have this triangle. So I'm just watching this pair. I'm just watching. You can see I have a clean chart, first touch, second touch, third touch over here. Market is not really getting that direction just yet. So we can see once we got this touch from the low, we came lower high, lower low. We have touched the lower high, and now we are sort of forming this triangular formation. I'll show you clearly on the 1-hour chart, but there's a triangular formation at this level. So you can see a lot of indecision over here. Let's go down to the 1-hour chart. So just doing that clear top down analysis. So I have this ascending triangular formation. So this is what I've been watching. That's why I've not been trading this pair. I'm just waiting for this market to get a directional bias, which is not yet formed just yet, but slowly we're establishing that directional bias. So pay attention to this. This is what I'm watching. There's a lot of money to be made off gold, but the thing is, how patient can you be? So this is what we're waiting for. I'll be watching this pair, sort of this triangular formation, see what is going to happen very soon, and then I'll see when to take my trade. But so far I'm sitting out. But with that said, let's look at Aussie dollar because it's forming some good patterns which can offer a very good liquidity very, very soon. So down on Aussie dollar, what we're looking at currently, what market has been forming, daily chart, we've been stuck within the 61.8 retracement level. So ever since we got this push to the upside, market has come down, forming this sort of pattern formation that is currently being formed. So sort of an ascending triangle. We got a double bottom rejection at the 61.8 level. We can see market has been retracing further up, sort of heading for this trend line that you're seeing over here. So we're waiting to see how market is going to respect this trend line. There's a level that market has been unable to break for the past 3 days, but you can see that level being popped very soon. So this level is what I've been watching. So that's why we're seeing spikes over there. We're seeing a lot of spikes. So I'm waiting to see how market will react today. This consolidation that has been happening here doesn't show me a lot of confidence that the market is going to go to the very far to the upside. But we'll watch how market will respect this trend line either today, tomorrow, or Friday, because market has really been consolidating for the past few days. If I go down to the 4-hour chart and get 4-hour chart, what we're looking at, here we go. So we've sort of been having this sort of formation of a head and shoulder, this pattern. So this is a pattern which is a head and shoulder. Many people don't realize it, but it's actually a head and shoulder pattern. We can see market has been forming sideways. We got our left shoulder here, we got our head, and we got our right shoulder. So that inverse head and shoulder formed a double bottom down there. And now what we're getting is the market has been coming further up. Let me return this to the daily chart only. So we've been seeing market consolidating here ever since Friday. So you remember last week we took a trade on this one. Market hasn't really gotten that directional bias just yet. But what I'm waiting for is for this market. I'm watching how market is forming this momentum. You can see this momentum play is very, there's no much strength. The market is not coming to the upside with a lot of strength. So what I'm waiting to see how 61.8 will be respected in line with this trend line. I might take a short trade, which I'll tell you in the group. very soon if I execute it, but I'm just watching how market is approaching this level. So I've been really patient with this. I haven't been forcing any trades. I haven't been just jumping in, seeing how the market is going to go, because if you go to the 1 hour chart, you can see there's a clear pattern over here. What I've been watching, this sort of resistance that market was forming at this level. You can see market hasn't really been breaking this level, but now we're sort of getting that momentum. I thought it would break yesterday, but we saw that strong break yesterday night during the night session, and today morning we're seeing this bullish momentum coming. So I'm waiting to see how market will come to this level. I might take a short trade over here, a very good short trade, which can offer us a very good risk reward ratio. I'll be targeting this previous low, so I'm not really going far with it. If I take where's my risk reward, so I'll be looking for a short trade around this level, which I'll take till here with a very tight stop loss just above our trend line above here. So that's a stop loss. Depending on where I'll get my entry, we're looking at a stop loss of about 30 to 40 pips. Very little. I might enter very heavy on this one because we're offering a risk reward of 1:5, a very good opportunity. But this also depends if we'll get that dollar strength. But remember, at the same time, I'm really cautious about this trade because we're really heading into a very uncertain period of elections, which, like I said, we don't really trade fundamentals as much. So I'm never really having a really strong bias on which direction the market is going to go. I normally wait for the technicals to show me that. So this is what I'll be watching on this one. I'll be informing you guys what I'll be seeing, and then we'll see how this pattern will form. But I'll be watching momentum. Momentum is very important. If this momentum comes with a lot of strength, then watch out for this level. But the momentum that has been forming over here, very slow down, is just a common pattern that shows market coming, not going straight to the trend line, forming sideways movement, coming and touching it, then dropping. So that's all I have on this one. If you go down to GBP AUD, so I shared this on the group yesterday, and for our chart, we're sort of getting that pattern formation. So this is what I shared yesterday. I don't trade this pair as well, but it moves in tandem with Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar strength you're seeing that is happening to the upside, that means the pound is weakening against the Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar is gaining strength. That's why we're seeing this bottom coming. So this can offer also a very good trade. Watch the 61.8. I think it might offer a very good entry for this trade. So you can watch this level, see how market will come, respect this level. You can see that nice curve, that bounce. Watch and see if we get a pin bar or a turning formation that shows a reversal. It's a good trade to take to the upside. So that's all I have on this one. So let me move on to USDCAD. So down to USDCAD, downward trend line. Been watching this for the past few weeks. No need to talk much about it. We can see what happened last week is that we came and bottomed at this level. 78.6 offered a very good entry for this pair. We've been moving further up, and now market has come back to this resistance level that we covered a few weeks back, if you remember. So you can remember this acted as a very strong resistance, acted as a support at this level. Market broke down, we got this retest. Here's where we got our short the other day, and market now has come back with that strong bullish momentum, but we're not getting that bullish follow through. So you can see what happened here. Market came momentum, followed this candlestick, fell very strongly, and now market is back at this level. So just like other pairs, a lot of uncertainties, market is not really getting direction. That's why we've been consolidating within this region over here, because of that election period we're waiting for. For our charts, good patterns have been forming. We can see market has been forming those lower lows, lower high. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. At this level, 78.6 was respected yesterday, and now we're seeing market sort of getting this flag formation at this point. If I go down to the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see it. So 1 hour chart, look at that pattern. First touch, second touch, third touch, beautiful touch. Market has been going further up, broke this counter trend line of this flag, and now market has been moving. So we can wait and see how market will react over here. Maybe we can get that push to this level, but we're really watching the dollar. So maybe it might continue falling further down, especially if you see that Aussie dollar going further up. We might see this pair moving down with the dollar index also moving down. So this is what I'll be watching on this one. I don't have a bias on this one. I'm more inclined to a better entry on Aussie dollar than on USDCAD, so I'm more inclined on that, as well as watching gold at the same time. So I'll be waiting for those pairs, see which one will pan through, and then execute a trade. So for now, I'm just watching this one. I don't have that clear pattern just yet on this one, because it's also really being affected by US oil. So US oil as well has been really falling. That's why you're seeing this bullish momentum plays coming very, very strongly. This bullish momentum here we saw on oil was a very, very strong drop. Okay, so we're watching those two because they're inversely correlated. Okay, so with that said, we can look at USD JPY because I shared it on the group as well. There was a very good pattern I noticed yesterday. If you remember well, this was the pattern that was in formation. You can see lower low correction, impulse correction, and last impulse. So after this impulse, don't expect strong movement to the downside. This market might really move back up, or we don't know. This is the first target that will finish this impulse correction, impulse movement, and then over here, from here, we'll be looking at what happens. I don't trade this pair, so it's not that I have a trade running, but the good thing is having different analysis, understanding different patterns, how they form, and when they form on the pairs you trade, you take those trades. It's not that now you need to jump and market hop on different pairs. So I don't like doing that. I was doing that long time, but these days I just use this as learning lessons and then come and observe them on the pairs I trade, because at the same time you want freedom. So if you want freedom, you're not trading all pairs, you're watching a few pairs and trading others. So that's all I have on this one. I just wanted to show you that pattern. If you go up on the daily chart, we have a triangular formation that has been forming. So you can see this formation, flat low. So this is the same low. Market doesn't form lower lows, just forming a flat low, but we've been forming lower highs over here, lower high over here, lower high. So very, very good pattern. You can see market has reached target over here. What happens from triangular formations like descending triangle? If we get that break, okay, market really falls. So watch this pair as well. We can get that strong break, fail to get a retest, and market can just go all the way down to finish this channel formation in place. So there's this channel pattern. Market might go all the way to complete. Using this as our target or our previous low, we can bring it even further up so that we can take this level over here. Okay, so we're using this as our target. Market can come and target this level. That's what level 102. So 102.5, around that level is a very good target. That's about 200 pips from where we are. So that's a good trade. I can't complain about this one. The pattern was very clear, and market has been moving further down. So watch that market. If you trade it, I don't trade it, you can look for those plays to be happening. If you didn't get that short, you can also be patient, see how market will react to this level. If it breaks to the downside, it's a good trade to take. So that's all I have on this one, and let's finish off with dollar index. Dollar index, last but not least, this is what we'll finish off with. Channel formation to the downside, very clear downward momentum. Nothing has changed, just like that USDCAD. What we're getting is that market is not moving really. If you can see this, once we rejected this trend line, market moved with an impulse. We had that correction, strong impulse. We're sort of getting this correction, so we're not really forming strong lower lows. So this was the previous lower low. You can see this lower low, market didn't really go far, it just formed one candlestick. After that, market really pulled back up, and now we are entering back into this territory. We can see we're breaking above this level. Okay, so this is the level we talked about. I don't know when I talked about this. I think it was last week on Wednesday or Friday on the Zoom session, that this was the level we're watching, and we're seeing market has been breaking above. Yesterday we tried closing below, but market came back up. So you really need to pay attention to those market candlestick patterns that are forming. If you don't pay attention to that, then you'll really be left behind. If you go down to the 4-hour chart, market has just been within this pattern formation. So this is what I've been watching. We can get this third touch, market can come and touch this third touch, but what we got is this 78.6 level. So market was moving up, came touch that 78, didn't touch it to the T, but came close to it, and market has been moving further up, forming sort of an ascending triangle, which I'll show you just in a sec on the 1-hour chart, which is forming at this level. But what I'm watching here, market has been moving down. I'll be watching to see if we get this bounce over here. So if we get this bounce and market starts moving further down, then my analysis on the USDCAD Aussie dollar will really be nullified, because if I'm I'm waiting for Aussie dollar to drop. That means I'll be waiting to see dollar strength, which means this pair will have to move further up. But I'm still betting on this trend. That's why I'm not really taking in trades. If you look at my patterns, they're really not aligned together, and that's one thing I'm normally looking for. So you want to reduce the risk of that, and that's how I normally help myself, by reducing that risk, looking at different patterns, how they're forming on different pairs. So if I get this bounce over here, market moves down, then that Aussie dollar pair, I'll be looking for those breaks to the upside. Also gold, I'll be looking for that push to the upside. So that's what I'm paying attention to. If we get this dollar strength coming, if we get this dollar strength coming, we'll be looking for Aussie dollar to really drop. But if we get this rejection and this market moves back down, then that means the Aussie dollar and gold, such pairs, will really be moving up, because we'll be getting a lot of dollar weakness. 1 hour chart, this is the pattern I'm talking about. I was observing this yesterday. At first I had this level, so I've readjusted this level. I had this level over here like this. So I sort of had this first touch, second touch, third touch. I saw this break yesterday. I didn't really fall for it. So you have to really know how to spot patterns, readjust your trend lines properly. So this is what I got. And if you get this, you see that first touch, second touch, look at that bounce. If someone took that breakout, then that person was really fooled. Look what happened immediately. Very strong push to the upside. So this is what I'll be watching. Watch for this pattern, see how it's going to respect this level. If you get that bounce, yes, we'll be moving further down. So that would mean this was just a basic impulse, correctional pattern, and then another impulse to the downside. So that's what I'm watching on this one. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll cover it more in the Zoom session today. So another pattern to watch is how this one is going to form. So always know how to spot patterns. I've taught myself for the past few years how to spot it. So this is what now I can be watching. I've just taken this parallel line, which market can come and respect at this level, and then get that drop to the downside. But it's not yet been confirmed. So now I'll just be sitting and watching how it's going to form. So that's all I have for today, and I'll see you in another analysis.